Throughout history, books have been banned, censored, and even destroyed by those who fear their power. Governments, religious institutions, and political regimes have sought to suppress ideas they deemed dangerous. But despite these efforts, the written word persists. This is the story of books the world tried to erase. Political censorship has been a powerful tool of control. Books that challenge authority, expose corruption, or propose alternative ideologies have often been targeted. 1984 by George Orwell, banned in the Soviet Union, censored in some US schools. George Orwell's dystopian vision of totalitarianism was seen as a direct attack on the Soviet regime. In the USSR, 1984 was banned for its critique of state surveillance and propaganda. Ironically, in the United States, it faced censorship for its supposed pro-communist themes, showing how different governments feared different messages within the same book. The Gulag Archipelago by Alexander Solzhenitsyn, banned in the USSR. Solzhenitsyn's exposé of Soviet labor camps was a direct threat to the Kremlin. The book was smuggled out of Russia and published abroad, revealing the horrors of the gulags to the world. Mein Kampf by Adolf Hitler, banned in Germany post-World War II and censored in several other countries. Sometimes books are banned not for challenging power, but for promoting dangerous ideology. Mein Kampf, Hitler's manifesto, was prohibited in post-war Germany to prevent the spread of Nazi propaganda. Religious texts and ideas that challenge orthodoxy have often been subject to censorship, from the Inquisition to modern-day book bans. The Satanic Verses by Salman Rushdie, banned in multiple Islamic countries, and a fatwa was issued against the author. Rushdie's novel, inspired by Islamic history and mythology, was condemned as blasphemous. Iran's Ayatollah Khomeini issued a fatwa calling for his assassination, demonstrating the deadly consequences of literary censorship. The Bible, banned in the Soviet Union, North Korea, and parts of China. Even the most widely read religious text in the world has faced censorship. Communist regimes have outlawed the Bible to suppress religious influence, fearing it as a rival source of power. The Book of Mormon by Joseph Smith, banned in Saudi Arabia and heavily restricted in other Islamic nations. Religious censorship extends to newer faiths. The Book of Mormon is prohibited in some countries where proselytizing is illegal. Sex, language, and controversial themes have led to bans across the world. What some consider literature, others deem obscene. Lady Chatterley's Lover by D.H. Lawrence, banned in the UK, US, and Australia for explicit content. Banned for its sexual themes, this novel sparked one of the most famous obscenity trials in history. The eventual lifting of the ban was a victory for literary freedom. American Psycho by Bret Easton Ellis, restricted in Germany and censored in Australia. Ellis's novel about a serial killer was heavily criticized for its graphic violence, leading to sales restrictions in several countries. 50 Shades of Grey by E.L. James, banned in several libraries in the US and parts of Asia. Despite its popularity, this erotic novel has been banned in conservative regions, reigniting debates on censorship and sexual expression in literature. Books that explore race, gender, and identity often face backlash from those who resist social change. To Kill a Mockingbird by Harper Lee, challenged in US schools for racial themes and language. Despite its anti-racist message, To Kill a Mockingbird has been banned for its portrayal of racial slurs and uncomfortable truths about American history. And The Color Purple by Alice Walker, challenged in the US for LGBTQ+ themes and violence. This Pulitzer Prize-winning novel has been removed from schools due to its depictions of abuse, sexuality, and racism. Gender Queer by Maya Kobabe, one of the most banned books in modern America. As conversations about gender identity expand, books like Gender Queer have been pulled from shelves, revealing the ongoing struggle for representation in literature. Even in the digital age, censorship persists. Some governments restrict access to books entirely, while others erase them from online platforms. Animal Farm by George Orwell. Orwell's satirical take on authoritarianism remains banned in several dictatorships for its critique of totalitarianism. Winnie the Pooh by A. Milne. A seemingly innocent children's book became a target when dissidents used Winnie the Pooh to mock China's leader. Despite centuries of censorship, books endure. The more authorities try to suppress ideas, the more determined people become to read them. The power of the written word cannot be erased. It only grows stronger.